Welcome to a new episode of the Guru Perspective. And today I'll be talking about what's going on in the NBA right now. They're calling it an NBA free agent fever. Okay, this is the things that's going on right now in the NBA. Basically, get you caught up if you wasn't caught up with it right now. A lot of the moves and trades is going to happen right now, going on in the NBA. And the crazy thing is, July the 6th is when it first is really, or when it comes official. So it becomes official on July the 6th. So right now, this is the first. So it's a lot of things that could still happen. What I like about the situation is because you never know, somebody can have a change of heart and they can say, well, no, I'm not feeling this deal. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it don't, or somebody don't pass the physical and have to go back to their old team. I know that happened before. I've seen when Dalton Connect had that happen with him, in the Mark Williams trade with, the center from the Charlotte Hornets. LA thought that they were going to get their center, and they found out that he was supposed to have been banged up or something happened to where the deal didn't materialize. And then that made him go back to the Charlotte Hornets and Dalton Connect, the trade piece that the Lakers had, go back to LA. And he was feeling some kind of way after that happened. So you could have a bad physical, or I never really seen too much of things happen like the change of heart when it came to the NBA. Most times the deals are official. So yeah, I want to see what happened between today and the 6th of July when everything becomes official. Another thing is too, I've been hearing a rumor. I don't know how serious it is, but I just want you guys to keep this in mind. This rumor seemed like it had a little bit of significance behind it, and I want to explain it. Okay, Dennis Schroeder, who was a good veteran guard for the Detroit Pistons, I was a little disappointed to find out that he was leaving, but at the same time, something had to go on with him because most times he's a one and done, and he's a trade chip for a lot of teams. Sacramento Kings ended up signing Dennis Schroeder to a deal that's not really official yet, but they said that he's definitely going to be dealt to the Sacramento Kings. I should have those notes as well, and I will explain a little more. But the good news is, yes, they got Dennis Schroeder, but I was hearing in the sign and trade deal, there's a possibility that the Detroit Pistons supposed to get Malik Monk once the deal is finalized. I know right now they've been having issues with another Malik Beasley. He's been gambling and, gambling on NBA games and betting on games. So when that happened, right now we don't know what his status is going to be in the NBA. So that's a huge issue right now for the Detroit Pistons. And I'm seeing right now it's starting to heat up already once I got back on the show. But yeah, I believe that the Pistons need him as well. And they have another person, the Michigan guy, coming back home too. But I'm about to go ahead and let you know all the news and the details of what happened yesterday in the NBA free agent fever. The Heat and forward Duncan Robinson is opting out of his contract this year, 2025, 2026, in order to become an unrestricted free agent. Okay. Sam Karania, who says that the veteran sharpshooter will work with the team to either figure out a new deal or accommodate a move elsewhere. So he's trying to get together a deal or try to get some type of significant deal going on or something official with the Miami Heat. And if that don't materialize, then he's going to try to find him another team. James Harden is staying with the Los Angeles Clippers after inking the deal with the team on Sunday, per ESPN. Hart declined a $36.3 million contract option for the 2025-2026 season, and he signed a new 2-year deal worth $81.5 million with the team. The Bucks and forward/center Bobby Portis has worked out a multi-year deal agreement. Right now, it's an agreement, but it's not officially signed. It was just a verbal agreement, maybe a handshake, according to Karania of the ESPN Twitter link, who reports that Portis intends to sign a 3-year, $44 million contract. And I believe it's packed with a third-year player option. The contract will replace his $13.4 million player option this season, 2025-2026, which he declined recently in order to sign a new deal. Houston Rockets have been pretty busy lately too. You already know about the Kevin Durant deal, and they're getting a lot of pieces over there. And these are one of the pieces that's already there, that's staying, and he's getting a deal. I believe that they feel more confident in him, and he's going to be in their starting lineup in their rotation. Jabari Smith Jr. is staying with Houston, and Smith intends to sign a 5-year, $122 million contract extension with the Rockets. The fully guaranteed deal will run through 2030-31 season. More news too for people out there who looking for a big man who has been pretty consistent. I just don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're feeling like he's being overpaid or he just not doing what he need to do while he go to their new teams. And this DeAndre Ayton, he's finalizing a contract buyout with the Portland Trail Blazers to become a free agent. Ayton will be free to sign with any team despite earning more than $14.1 million, according to ESPN. And another thing, too, I was surprised about. I thought this was really going to be the year that the Memphis Grizzlies was going to blow everything up and start trading and having trade chips to try to get them more collateral pieces and get them more future draft picks. But I looked into yesterday and just feel like they're going to go in a new direction. So for having a big three, I believe they're going to go with the big two that they have and just have people and maybe sign like key players and people who can come off the bench to help provide for this team. And this was a lot of money spent on one of their young stars. The Memphis Grizzlies and All-Star Jerry Jackson Jr. are expected to agree to a 5-year, $240 million deal maximum, renegotiating an extension, sources tell ESPN. Head of CAA basketball, Austin Brown, and CAA agent Max Seidman negotiated the new agreement with the Grizzlies. So basically, it's already been agreed upon, hasn't been signed yet. Can't really make a deal official till the 6th, but I definitely believe that's more than likely is going to happen because I think that they're going to focus on Ja Morant and now they're going to focus on Jared Jackson Jr. to, help with their franchise right now. I believe they did this move too. And they ended up trading Desmond Bain to the Orlando Magic just recently so they can get money and have an extension with Jared Jackson Jr. so he can stay in Memphis. So congratulations on that deal. That's a pretty good deal. Free agent forward Dorian Finney-Smith is leaving the Lakers in order to sign a 4-year, $53 million contract with the Rockies. Sources tell Sam Karania of the ESPN. I thought that that was a really good deal too for the Houston Rockets. Like I said, they're cooking, man. They got Kevin Durant now. They got a really good perimeter 3-point shooter, and he can play defense. They're really trying to make something happen over there. They already have Ime Udoka over there as a head coach, and you got rid of some of the pieces, as far as to the Phoenix Sun to get Kevin Durant, but the pieces you already still have in play, and that starting lineup is going to be huge next season. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the Houston Rockets can do. The Jazz and Hornets have agreed to trade that will send a guard, Colin Sexton, in a 2031 second round draft pick to Charlotte with center Yusuf Nurkic heading to the Utah Jazz, according to Sham Karania. I think that it's going to work out for both sides. But the crazy thing is, I just feel bad for Colin Sexton. He's been traded. This is like his third city that he's went to. I thought he was going to be good when he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers, but then I feel like with Darius Garland emerging, and they wasn't going to have both of those guys playing together, and they was going to have to figure out something. They had more guard play than they needed. They shipped him off to Utah. Now he's with Charlotte. I'm just trying to see where he's going to land next, and is he going to really have a home to where he'll be comfortable at? Because this is like 3 trades, and it hasn't been that long with this guy in his career. But yeah, I still feel like that was a good move, regardless. That Utah get their big man. But what's surprising me about it is I really still don't see a lot out of Utah. I feel like with John Collins and having a lot of the young players over there, like marketing, I thought that they'll be okay. but they didn't do anything for me yet. And I believe they definitely still need that guard play. But I'm gonna look into them and see what Utah's trying to do. See if they're trying to just get more collateral and get future draft picks, or they're going to run with what they have right now. The Thunder declined their maximum salary team option for big man Jalen Williams in order to negotiate a new deal with him, according to ESPN, who reports that the two sides have agreed to a 3-year, $24 million contract. Williams' new contract is official. The Thunders announced today in a press conference the team completed the deal with a veteran for the extension, which is why it could be formally finalized now instead of having to wait until July. So when they made that official, they went ahead and they already have their own and they signed their own. So that's why they can make this deal right now. If it's someone who's in the trade package pretty much right now, you will have to wait until the 6th until you make it official. The Pelicans and Wizards had agreed to a four-player trade, according to Sham Karania on ESPN. The report that the guard CJ McCollum, forward center Kelly Olynyk, and future second-round pick are heading to Washington in a deal in exchange for guard Jordan Poole, forward Sadie Bay, and the number 40 overall pick in this year's draft that just went past, recently on the 25th. One day after agreeing on the trade with Drew Holiday, the Celtics are moving another starter. Kristaps Porzingis has been moved recently too. If you guys remember, he's heading to the Hawks in a three-team trade. Atlanta will acquire Porzingis and the second-round pick in the deal. Terrence Mann and Atlanta's number 22 pick for June the 25th draft headed to the Nets, and the Celtics acquired George Nain and the second-round pick. That second round pick heading to Boston is coming from Atlanta and is the Cleveland Cavaliers 2031 second rounder. In exchange, the Celtics are sending a 2026 second rounder with the least favorable language to the Hawks. So that's a lot still going on with that. The Celtics right now, I feel like they don't have room to keep or really try to sign any big names. Unfortunately, too, for me, I don't think that they're going to get Jason Tatum back with that torn Achilles, the way he tore his Achilles in the playoff. I would be surprised if he come back fully functional, ready to play next season. And the crazy part about that is Boston's still trying to sell. They're trying to sell, and that's why I believe they're blowing things up. Drew Holiday is gone. Kristaps Porzingis is gone. I'm not sure what they're going to do with Devin White yet. Maybe he's trade bait. But you still have Jaylen Brown, and then you still have Jason Tatum, who's injured. But the Anthony Simons deal too was a 1-year prove it deal, so I want to see how that happens. But they've been saving money, and they've been getting a lot of money off their salary cap too to try to save them some money for when they make this whole deal and Boston gets sold. It's crazy too because it's a lot of teams that's selling, like Mark Cuban sold, Jeannie Buss sold, and it's like you turn around and now, Boston's about to sell. It's a lot of teams that's selling right now this part of the year. And I want to know, is it safe, to say that do they think that there's going to be a really significant change right now in the NBA? Because all these sales, I don't think is good too, especially when you had owners who solidified the NBA, especially Jeannie Buss and the Buss family, from what they've done for, the NBA and basketball in general. So, yeah, I want to see what happened with this new regime of new owners and what's going to happen within the next few years because it's a lot of change to come. I want to get back into everything. The Lakers offered Austin Reed a 4-year, $89 million contract extension recently, but he declined in the hopes of landing a bigger payday next summer. League sources explain, as Wokey detailed, $89 million over 4 years is the maximum that the Lakers could allow Reeves, who is entering his third season on a 4-year, $54 million contract. The 27-year-old is expected to turn it down his 14.9 million player option for 2026-2027 in order to become an unrestricted free agent next offseason. Minnesota Timberwolves center Naz Reid intends to sign a new 5-year, $125 million contract to stay with the franchise. Sources told ESPN on Friday. The deal includes a player option in 2029, 2030. And sources said this marks a critical resigning agreement between the Wolves and Reed's agent Sean Kennedy and Jeff Schwartz of Excel Sports. Contracts cannot be official, of course, like I said, until July the 6th. And Lakers superstar forward LeBron James is picking up his $52.6 million player option for the 2025-2026 season. His longtime agent, Rich Paul, tells Sham Karania of ESPN. I believe that he's closely monitoring everything too to see if the Los Angeles Lakers are trying to bring a championship caliber team over there. I don't believe that last year he was really happy with some of the moves that they made going into the season. I still didn't feel like that was going to be a far superior dominant playoff team. I thought that they'll be okay, but I believe they've been like maybe second round or unfortunately like what happened this year, one and done. That being said, um, I believe he just want to keep eyes and keep tabs on what's going to happen and see what they're going to do and what they need to do to try to bring some championship, hope over to the Los Angeles Lakers. Right now, you still got Luka and you got LeBron, but then I believe they want to have more pieces over there and get them another option besides Austin Reeves to put over there with LeBron James and Luka and try to get them a championship run, because LeBron James not getting any younger. So yeah, I'm pretty interested in seeing what's going to happen and what they're going to do. And unfortunately, I've been hearing rumors too, even though they're saying Rich Paul saying it's not true. But I believe he's sitting down waiting and seeing what they're going to do. And I feel like if he's not satisfied, he might just pump the brakes and find another team. That's just been the rumors and speculations. I don't know if it's anything official. And like I said, Rich Paul said that it wasn't true. So I'm going to definitely go with his word so far. The Chicago Bulls traded Lonzo Ball to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Isaac Okoro. That was one of the things that I've seen too. I don't know how big this one to be, but I know that Lonzo Ball was with the Pelicans, the Bulls, and now he's heading to Cleveland. Hopefully that can help the Cleveland Cavaliers, because they've been doing so good, and just that team when they're healthy, they're one of the more dangerous teams in the East. But yeah, that's not really looking too good for me, in my opinion, because is it like the injuries caught back up with Lonzo Ball? He's been injured for a while when he was in Chicago. And I believe they're trying to get some of that contract away from them and, get some of that, money back and just get rid of what I felt like wasn't really a great deal. That's just my opinion. The Nuggets and the Knicks has agreed to trade that will send Michael Porter Jr. and an unprotected 2032 first round pick to the Nets in exchange for Cameron Johnson. I think that's going to be a good deal because it's basically the same player. They both can get streaky. They can play good at a certain point in time. You never know what you're going to get out of them. So at this point, I just feel like it's a good deal to give both of them a fresh start. After becoming a free agent in the offseason, former Brooklyn Nets veteran point guard D'Angelo Russell is on the move again. The Dallas Mavericks signed Russell to a 2-year, $13 million contract on Monday. The Nets had acquired Russell from the Los Angeles Lakers in December trade, marking his second stint with the Brooklyn Nets following his 2-year run with the franchise in 2017-2019. I just believe that that was just going to be a deal that once they got him, it was just going to be sign and trade. And now I didn't believe that they were going to re-sign him. So that's a good pickup for a person if they need on Dallas to give them a little bit more good play when it comes to a six man or somebody who can shoot the 3-point basket. So a lot of people sleeping on what Dallas have over there, but then after getting Cooper Flag in the draft, and having the pieces they already had over there. Hopefully, they can have a healthy Anthony Davis, but that's really a decent team. And to get somebody like D'Angelo Russell over there that can help out and maybe be a six man or who can take minutes when Clay is out resting, I think that's a good deal right now for the Dallas Mavericks. I'm not saying they championship worthy, but then I'm still saying they're going to be a pretty decent playoff caliber team. Free agent guard Karis LeVert has agreed to a 2-year, $29 million deal with the Detroit Pistons, sources tell ESPN. Um, The Pistons negotiated the term of the deal to bring the backcourt depth and bring him back to Michigan. Of course, that's a Michigan Wolverine on. So I definitely believe that's a good move because I like Karis LeVert. I know that they said that was one of the guys they were looking for. And unfortunately, one of the guys we was looking for didn't materialize. But then I understand too with the whole Malik Monk and Dennis Schroeder deal. I just want to see how that happened. And I'm going to keep my eye out because for what I don't explain and tell you guys, I'll tell you how you can get that information if you want. Just stay tuned. After spending 7 seasons with the Milwaukee Bucks, center Brook Lopez is heading back to Los Angeles, having agreed to sign a 2-year, $18 million contract with the Clippers. The Clippers were known to be on the market for a reliable veteran big man to back up the most improved runner-up, Ivica Zubac. Based on the terms, it looks like they'll be using a portion of the non-taxpayer mid-level exemption to add Lopez. So I believe he's going to have like a veteran minimum to go over there and possibly be a backup for their center Zubac. The Rockets continue to retool their front court by agreeing to a 3-year, $21.5 million contract with the Hawks. Free agent Clint Capella. So Clint Capella is going back to the Rockets. The contract is fully guaranteed. It's no surprise that Capella, who lost his starting job in the second half of the past season, was leaving Atlanta. The Hawks are acquiring Kristaps Porzingis from the Celtics to be their starting big man, at least for the next season. So yeah, I definitely see a lot of good things going on, and something's going to happen there with the Rockets because, I told you Durant. Now they got Finney over there, Finney Smith Jr., and then you got just a really good core over there with that team. I was telling people earlier before the season was even over with that I believed that Jalen Green was going to leave and they was going to keep the Thompson twin over there because the way he excelled and how he played in the playoffs, and it didn't help that Jalen Green didn't do as well. So I believe that trade was coming, but to get a Kevin Durant over there, now you got a big man in Clint Capella, you got Finney Smith Jr., and it's a lot of good stuff going on over there with Houston. So I'm gonna keep my eye out. I'm not saying they're, championship bound, but then still, I believe that's a good core over there with Ime Udoka and just a really good coaching staff. So I'm gonna definitely keep my eye out on that. And last but not least, this one hurted me because this is the one guy I definitely would have liked to see with Detroit. Free agent guard Nikhil Alexander Walker has agreed to a 4-year, $62 million deal with the Hawks. The contracts include a 4-year player option and trade kicker. The Hawks will acquire Alexander Walker via a sign and trade using $25 million trade exception granted by the last year's DeJounte Murray trade, according to the cap experts, Yossi Goslin. This will generate a trade exemption for the Timberwolves, who is worth half of Alexander Walker's starting salary. So I believe that's going to definitely help them bring him over to the Atlanta Hawks right now. I want to see what's going to happen with Trae Young as well, because I know they've been having like sputters with him, the good and the bad. I still feel like Atlanta played great yesterday. I mean, last season. I'm sorry about that. I was distracted. I'm getting a lot of these, ESPN reports. But at the same time, I still believe everything's going to work out. And I believe Alexander Walker going over there is going to be great for that team. I just want to see more from Atlanta and what they're going to do. And hopefully, if Trae Young's a part of that, that's fine. If not, I want them to have a trade partner so I can have something to talk about soon. That basically will be wrapping up everything as far as what was going on in the NBA for me. And this was like day one of the deals. And I can give you more information as well. I want to start off with saying, if you want to know more about anything that's going on in the NBA right now, you can find me on my platforms, and I will definitely be on there. And you can find me at Hoovy on Instagram. That's WHOOVI. The Sports Guru to you, where I'll be putting all my late breaking news on Facebook, and I definitely will be today on the second day of the free agent fever. and at Hewley.6 on TikTok. And if you have any questions or anything that you want to display to me, and if you feel like you want me to talk about more WNBA, NBA, NHL, whatever it may be, you can hit me up on sportsguru to you at gmail.com. Thank you all. And I would like to say I appreciate everybody who chime in and listen. Please, if you could do me a favor, go to my page, my YouTube page, go to that link, click like and subscribe. And I've been doing pretty good numbers. So I appreciate all my family, friends, and my loved ones for making this a reality. And I would like to say until then, peace. And I will see you. I'm not sure when I'll be doing another show yet, but just stay tuned.